Trending at muling pinag-uusapan sa social media si Congresswoman Lucy Torres Gomez matapos nitong ibida ang mga tulong na ginawa ni Presidential Aspirant Bongbong Marcos sa Ormoc City pagkatapos ng Yolanda Super Typhoon at naulit noong 2017 nang nilindol ang nasabing probinsya. Ito ay sa kabila ng walang anumang posisyon sa gobyerno noong panahong iyon ang dating senador na si Bongbong Marcos, subalit isa ito sa mga unang rumisponde at nagbigay ng tulong sa mga nasalanta ng kalamidad. Gayun din, sinabi ni Representative Lucy Torres na bagamat maraming bumabatikos kay Bongbong Marcos ay nanatili itong mapagkumbaba at mas piniling ituon na lamang ang pansin sa pagtulong sa publiko.
BBM, hindi niya alam kung ano yung mga tatanungin namin. So yeah, Kong Lucy, go ahead.
I wanted lang to take off from what you said, no, na we are all candidates and at some point we are all vilified, but maybe no one more than BBM who has been vilified all his life, siguro for 40 years na you said. But if there is one thing I learned in public service, no, out of the 12 years, bawal talaga maging judgmental. Diba, Kong Mike? Those people, the ones who are throw stones so easily, they only know what they read or what they hear, what was told to them. But I'll give you a concrete example. And I don't know if BBM remembers this, but back when Yolanda happened, and he wasn't part of the administration, but one of the very first to help Ormoc City was BBM and his family through Irene. You sent clean water. You sent a gadget from some foreign firm for clean water. And I remember going to the different barangays, demonstrating how that is used and them having access to clean water at a very crucial time. That's one. Secondly, during the earthquake in 2017, if you really look at it, if you look at the dynamics, you had just lost an election. You did not make it back in 2016. But you were the first to be on the ground after the earthquake happened. You were with Kong Martin and Kong Anton Lagdameo, who were both my colleagues at that time. And you didn't have to be there, but you were there and you helped the community. And I just wanted to say that more than what you say, more than what the plans are, what the grand plan is, it's really what you do on the battlefield as the battle rages on and the soldiers on the ground are suffering. So I think that speaks more about a leader than all the nice words or all the nice plans.
I remember that very well, and it's funny because I guess in my life we have always been thinking in terms of what's going on, how to help, siguro sa pamilya ko, hindi na nawala. Nilagay tayo dito sa mundong to para magserbisyo. And that is something that was ingrained in us by our parents. And that is something that...
You grew up in that environment.
Well, even as children, we are already being taught that we are here to serve. We are here to serve. This is what we do. And besides, if you think about it, everything that you give away comes back 10 times in terms of political support, in terms of the affection that people have for you, and in terms of the good that you can actually do. So that's ingrained already siguro sa amin. And I think that that's why when those crises, those disasters happen, as long as we could help, we would immediately go. I have been in office and I have been out of office, and ang na-notice ko is that in my life anyway, in my experience, there's very little difference in the work I do. Nung nawala ako sa Kongreso, nawala ako sa Senado, ang nawala lang sa trabaho ko ay yung hearing at saka yung session. Pero ang lumalapit sa akin, the people that come to me for help, I think they always look at me as somebody who's still in office and is still in government. Now, I'm lucky. I've been in government for a long time. And of course, previous to that were all of the time that my father was president. So marami pa rin tayong kaibigan sa hindi lamang sa gobyerno, kung hindi pati sa private sector. At sila naman ay handang tumulong pagka humihingi tayo ng tulong. So that is something that I've always been able to do. And even excuse me, even when I was nakakulong pa ako dahil na-COVID ako eh. Nung nakakulong pa ako sa COVID, ginagawa ko na yun dahil sabi ko kailangan nito. So I was at home in my room, hindi pa ako makalabas ng kwarto ko, but I was already talking to people, collecting PPEs, collecting medical supplies, and collecting relief goods for those who are in need. And again, it's just something that this is what we do. And that is why siguro naman it can be said, at least I can claim, that I'm not in politics to aggrandize myself or my group or anybody else, but we really have a commitment to the country, to our people, and a commitment to help in any way that we can. Anyway, so nothing too small, nothing too big. Sangayon ako dyan. Ite-texting kita. Napakagwapo talaga ng ating magiging kandidato para sa senador, si Kandan. At and then yun namang aking ginagawa. We have to distill all that we do. Kasi ubus na ang pondo ng gobyerno. Pagod na ang tao. Walang mga trabaho. So we have to distill what we do to the absolute essentials. Kung itong mga usapin na mga nagbabatikos o yung mga maiinit na salita, nagpepersonalan, nakakatulong ba ito sa problema natin? Parang hindi eh. Kaya hindi talaga, so dapat hindi na natin pag-aksayan ng panahon yan. Dapat bumalik tayo lagi yung every waking moment, ika nga, ay dapat naka-apply dun sa kung yung makatulong. Dahil yun naman ang layunin natin lahat na maging maayos na itong, malampasan na natin itong COVID, na masimula na natin yung buhayin at pasiglayin ulit ang ating ekonomiya. Pare-pareho naman, bawat naman Pilipino, yan ang habol, lalo na ngayon sa krisis na ito. So yan ang dapat natin tugunan, hindi yung ating mga sariling interest, yung political interest ng partido. At kagaya yan ang nabanggit ko kanina, siguro tanggap ang ating mensahe ng taong bayan dahil nasa ugali na ng Pilipino yan eh. Wala naman yung ugali sa Pilipino palaaway eh. Tayo, we always try to find a way. Bakit tayo ang pinakamaraming mag-text sa buong mundo? Dahil ayaw natin ng confrontation. Hindi tayo mahilig sa ganyang klaseng yung nakikipagduruan, nakikipag-away, nakikipagsigawan. Wala sa ugali ng Pilipino yan. Kaya dapat palabasin lang natin ang tunay ng pagka-Pilipino natin, yung pagkabayanihan natin, yung pagkakaisa, yung matulungin sa kapwa. Ay tayo naman ng mga Pilipino, kilalang-kilala na tayo sa buong mundo, na ganyan tayo. Baka ipasok na rin natin yung ganyang klaseng patakbo. Dapat hindi lamang sa pang-araw-araw na buhay, kundi pati sa politika.
Sir, before we continue, sabi ni Thinking Pinoy, mas gwapo si Ace Barber, sorry kong Dante. I am an expert on such matters. Kung Lucy, you wanted to ask
Nasabak pala tayo sa beauty contest dito. Dadagdagan ko muna yung makeup ko para makalaban naman tayo.
I wanted to add lang, Kong Mike, no, na like I said kanina, more than what you say, it's actually what you do, no, in the battlefield. I think that counts a lot as a leader, and in at least 2 occasions in my life as a public servant, BBM pulled through for the people I represent, and both pa when he was not even in office. So I will never forget that. Also, to take off from what Kong A said, na how he has conducted himself, how he has been able to rise above the noise. I think it's very important. That's why it's very important for us to know who the presidential aspirants are, because more than just thinking of him in the local sense as serving our country, we also have to be able to imagine him in the world stage together with other world leaders, and his relationship with those world leaders and how he conducts himself in their presence, the talks that they will have a ripple effect in our country and in our progress. So it's very important that we really listen to what they have planned, should they be successful in their mission. And so far si BBM has been able to rise above the noise, but it's just so easy siguro para maging mapagpatol, no, and to be onion skin, because the attacks can really be below the belt. But like I say, when you have a platform, why will you waste precious time on attacking people when it can be a message of how the country can move forward?
Well, that is all. Yun naman ang habol natin lahat, is how to move the country forward. And Kong Lucy, since you mentioned the place of the Philippines and the community of nations, I think it is time that we return our country to its proper place in the community of nations. Because right now, because of COVID, because of all the crises that we are facing, the world is actually rearranging itself. COVID changed everything. I think that's a basic premise that everyone can agree on. COVID has changed everything. And that means that even our interrelationships with ASEAN, with Asia, with the rest of the world, with our traditional partners, with the United States, with our newer partners, the People's Republic of China, and all of the other countries that are the part of what they call the emerging nations and the emerging markets. All of those are things that will be very important to our recovery, for the simple reason that we are a very global economy. And I am confident that we will be able to approach our old friends and make some new friends on the world stage. And that is something that I have become accustomed to. I'm very proud to be able to say that my father had enough trust and faith in me to send me on certain delegations. So meron na tayong pinagdaanan na tungkol dyan na kaya makipag-usap sa mga world leaders, makipag-usap sa mga malalaking negosyante na baka naman ay makatulong sa atin. In fact, I have already begun the process because I have been talking to many of the foreign ambassadors.